Yo, what's going on, man? What's going on? We back for another
Back.
episode 003, I believe it
It's
is.
number 3. We back.
Episode 003, man.
We
Another
back.
episode of Relentless Purpose Podcast, where we come on here and talk everything purpose, everything life, sports, whatever, it might be, man. We just trying to attack everything full speed, man. But I know
Hey.
it's been a while, man. How you been?
Man, hey, I got my voice back.
Yeah.
I'm back in town.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready to go. I'm good. How you been?
Man, it's boy, I've been up and down myself, man. Had a little head cold talking about you, and I got a little.
See? You was on me.
Had a little situation myself, man. Bouncing back, man. But other than that, just trying to, just one day at a time, man. Trying to advance.
Yeah.
Trying to advance, man. In every way possible. You know
Man,
what I'm saying? But
hey.
other than that, can't
it.
complain, man. Just ready for a new week, new challenge this weekend.
Sir.
Challenge
Yes,
is gonna be an understatement. We might get to that later on, man. But
with this weather,
man, we back for another one, man. So look, without further ado, man, we don't even want to prolong the people, man. But just
hey,
what's on your head today?
Man. So we didn't have some time off, man. Had some time to think, man. And one of the questions that I wanted to kind of bring to when we got back on here, man, was just thinking about purpose and thinking about life, right? For you, right? What was like the turning point in your life that you decided, like, hey, man, I want to help people. I want to like have an impact on the youth or the community or just whatever. Like, at what was that turning point in your life?
Man, for me, I would say probably high school. I got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Okay.
So for those of y'all that's not familiar with that, man, Big Brothers Big Sisters like a mentor program.
Right.
So basically, it's teenagers, being mentors to anywhere from second grade up to eighth graders.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Playing sports. So they was I was kind of heavily. Not gonna lie, I really didn't want to do it in the beginning. I was kind of pushed that way because my little name or image or whatever you want to call it that I had from sports and just academics being in school in general, man. And I remember the first time I met my little brother. His name was Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Jerome, man. Living in the projects, tough home life. One of those kids, man. He doesn't know, where his next meal's coming from. He's got grandmother's taking care of him and his siblings, adoptive kids. So it's one of those situations where he's really, scratching and clawing for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
And being at school with his friends was probably the happiest time he had been.
Okay.
So me being able to, just connect with him and pull him out of class, I go pick up McDonald's or something. You know how it is, man.
Yeah.
We spend a little one-on-one time. We play ball. We just talk. And I invited him to the games. Coach allowed me to, bring him in the locker room pregame. He was able to come on the sideline pregame. Post game, he was, get my helmet, put my helmet on, all that stuff. He was allowed to come to the pep rally and stuff like that. And to see just, the way his eyes lit up, you know what I'm saying, knowing that he saw something different.
Yeah.
Or that might have made his day or his week, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's a flip side of it too, where sometimes, some things come up where it might have been a scheduled day and I had to reschedule, and the teacher would, or his parent would hit me on the side and be like, hey, can you call him to get a chance? Like he had a down day because he was looking forward,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, to those 2 hours or whatever it might have been. So for me, man, I want to say high school, just knowing that I can make that big of an impact, even though I wouldn't do anything. I was just being myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just day-to-day things.
Yeah.
I got to eat lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just playing around, joking with my friends, now I have another little friend who looked up to me like a big brother in this mentorship program that allowed me to help him. And I was able to stay in touch with him for a while, man. Kind of we fell out of touch when I, went in the military and all that. But for a while, man, we were in touch probably good 8 years after I was even done, you know what I'm saying, being his big brother, man.
Oh, y'all kept in contact?
Yeah, we did,
Okay.
man. We did, man. Hopefully I can find a way to, get in touch with him again or find him again or something like that, man. But yeah, for me, it was definitely that Big Brothers Big Sisters mentorship program, man.
So that's like was that like the Boys and Girls Club type of deal, or
it was no. So Big Brothers Big Sisters and Boys and Girls Club was two different entities.
Got you.
Back at home.
Okay.
So Big Brothers Big Sisters was directly a mentorship through the school district.
Oh,
You get what I'm
okay.
saying? So like
Okay.
they had an office downtown, like it was basically like adjacent to central office.
Got you.
So kind of like, you know, you had Church Cibolo ISD or whatever,
Mhm.
central office. So right on the other side of the building was
Yeah.
Big Brothers Big Sisters. So basically, the only thing you did was if you qualify like academically, you weren't in trouble. Of course, if you were an athlete, you're a well-known athlete, and they had kids. Because every young kid, when you ask them at that age, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a football player.
Of
I want to
course.
be a basketball player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be a rapper. I want to be some type of person that brings in a substantial amount of income.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because of what they see, they
Right.
don't want to be in there. So that was a whole different entity because Boys and Girls Club is you know, a nonprofit business on the side where that was more so like they had the daycare program, the summer program. So Big Brothers Big Sisters really didn't run during the summer where I was.
Got you.
Because school wasn't in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then you had a lot of transition with foster homes and all that type of stuff during the summer.
Yeah.
So for us, it was more so through the school district. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Okay.
But yeah, man. So I guess I can. That's a strong question right there, man. Without going too deep, I guess I can just kick it same question right back to you, bro.
So man, for me, honestly, like I always wanted to help people, right? But for me, it wasn't until I got a little older. I was playing arena ball, and I was living in California. I was living in Stockton, California. All right. And if anybody knows anything about Stockton, California, Stockton is rough.
That's right.
Stockton is rough. And so in the off season, I ended up coaching at a high school. So I stayed out there in California.
So you were living you
after the season was over, I stayed.
Okay, because that's what I'm about to say. A lot of people might not understand the arena ball schedule.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like the timetable.
So when I played arena football, like we played in the spring, right? So the spring, and then in the summertime, like you're done. You going to work, you trying to get to the NFL, CFL, somewhere else, right? And so in the off season, I stayed in California. I wound up coaching. My first time coaching high school football, I coached at Stagg High School in Stockton. And like again,
gotcha.
Stagg is
gotcha.
You putting it together, right? So Stagg was a rough high school. I mean, we had kids that missed practice and never came back to practice again, and it wasn't because they didn't want to; it was because they weren't able to.
Yeah.
Right. Without getting too in detail with that, and so for me, it was at that point, and that was in 2011. That I decided to start doing that, man. So coaching high school, getting around these young kids, and kids having the talent, but not really having the resources and without having the help and the support system, right? For me, was like, hey, I can make a few connections here and there. And then just kind of started getting with the kids and working with the kids at the high school and stuff like that, like in the summertime, and then watching them go on to be successful. For me, that was the turning point for me was one day we had a kid who was on the team, wound up not making it back to practice school ever again. And it was like, man, I was just talking to him yesterday in practice. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember he skipped practice one day, and then that was it. So I didn't want to be losing kids to the street per se.
For sure.
And so that was the turning point for me, was losing that first one. I was like, nah, I can't. I never want to lose another one. And so then getting down here, getting to San Antonio, you know what I'm saying, and football being the mecca in the state of Texas, right? But like I said before, like episodes before, man, like what better way to connect with them than through the game I love, which is football.
I got you, man. Hey, so I guess we both had experience with the losing kids, you know what I'm saying, that you're attached to, that you had a connection to, that you're used to seeing every day, you know, happy-go-lucky things happen in life. So I guess with that, and then I guess I can account for present day also with your occupation.
Right.
How do you handle that adversity of life happening just that fast? Like, how do you take yourself out of that negative mindset? Because you understand, like, oh man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But I still might have 9 more hours on shift.
Yeah.
Or what? You just found out something in the middle of practice, and you still have kids you still training and working with, you know what I'm saying, that's here right to you right now.
Right.
But you can't soak in that moment.
Right.
So like, how do you overcome that adversity of that mental, not really want to feel sorry for yourself, but just feeling down in the moment? You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, man, like a lot of people joke about me always being busy. Like, when do you have time for yourself and
I do
stuff
that.
like that?
I say that, bro.
Hey,
you got 50, 11 jobs, bro.
And literally, but honestly, man, like being busy keeps my mind busy, right? And so it's I had a conversation with one of my friends yesterday, and we were talking about that, like being busy, and how do you ask me the exact same question, which is like crazy, honestly. But my answer, because we've all been through things, right?
Oh, for sure.
But for me, man, like, and I guess it's like an escape, right? Being able to kind of keep busy. And we all have our moments where, like, hey, sometimes I just want to sit in silence. Sometimes I just want to sit and play the game. I don't even want to leave the house. I just want to play NCAA and be done with it. But for me, being in a situation where where life just happens, for me, it's knowing that I still have a duty to others and my dedication to others that keeps me kind of grounded and keeps my mind at bay. Like, hey, that's gonna be there. Like, the problem is gonna be there, right? And it's like in a football game, right? No matter what's going on off the field, hey, you got 60 minutes to focus on this game.
You got to stay locked in.
You got to stay locked in.
Got to.
Right? Life is gonna still be there. It's like going on vacation, man. The bills are still gonna be there when you get back, but I ain't on vacation thinking about no bills.
Hey, man. Hey.
You know, in a sense,
bump them bills.
My point. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, so for me, when I'm in that moment, when I'm able to impact and give back and fulfill what I feel like my purpose is, like, I don't think about nothing else. I don't think about all that other stuff. Now, I think about that on the way home. Like, even at work, we deal with the fires, and we deal with death, and we deal with stuff like that. Man, sometimes coming home from work, I just sit in complete silence. I drive in complete silence the whole way home.
So diving a little bit further into that, how do y'all handle that? Like, knowing y'all just made a call, right? Or y'all just made a run. The situation was what it was. It didn't turn out for the best,
right?
But y'all know you have to go back to the station, and you still might have another, like I said earlier, 9-10 hours left on your shift.
Yeah.
So how do y'all handle that and balance that part of it? You know what I'm saying? And keeping the right mindset, the right, I don't even know how you want to call it, man. Just motivation, I guess,
to keep going.
Yes.
So just being completely transparent, man, because that's what we doing on the show, right? Man, my first death was the hardest one, right?
Yeah, they say the first one's always
man. And the reason for that is because I'm literally talking to the dude.
And you watch him.
And I'm like, and he like, man, I can't breathe. Like, I'm about to die. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Like, you good. And I'm looking at him in his eyes as he took his last breath. And we in the back of the ambulance, and I never forget this run. I will never forget this dude's name. I was in the academy when it happened, and we were doing our write outs. And so I remember that whole day because we had to take notes and do all that. And so that first one, it was everybody like, man, you can't take that personal. Like, you're a filler. God put you in here as a filler to do a certain job. It's our job to get them from point A to B.
Bro, you say you was in an academy?
In the fire academy.
When this happened?
Yeah.
So you wasn't even at your
I wasn't even
in
the department yet. Nope. I was in the academy. Yep. And then, so we were in EMT school, and we were doing write-outs. And I was doing my write-out, and I was at fire station number 10 when this happened.
What area town is that?
I want to say it's the west side.
Okay.
And so I remember that, and everybody just kept saying, like, hey, that first one, like you said, it's gonna be rough, but hey, you are here to get them from point A to B, do your best from A to B, and then you got to kind of let it go. Yeah. And I'm like, all right. So then after that, it was cool. For me, it wasn't real. Right. It wasn't real. Is what even to this day, 9 years in, to be 9 years in August, it's not real. Right. I'm here to do a job, like, to the best of my ability, but it's not real. Right. And that's how I kind of deal with it. And then we get back to the station, and we'll talk. We talking on the way back. Like, no matter if it's 2-3 o'clock in the morning, we kind of talking about it to kind of help everybody.
Because everybody's going through the same thing.
Everybody going through the same thing. So you got 4 of y'all, or if you had a double company and it's 8 of y'all, you got 4 of y'all that were on the same call, seeing the exact same thing. And I'm able to talk to you about it on my way back to the station. Right. So the only calls like that really get to me are kids. Right. It's the kids because, man, they so innocent, so young. Like, you know what I'm saying? So those are the calls that get to me the hardest. Like, I done seen kids like drown and hit by a butt, everything you can think of. Like, I've seen it. But then on the flip side, I got to, in 9 years, I got to deliver 2 babies to bring into the world. And so as much as I'm surrounded by like death and fire and stuff like that.
You get that
I got that reminder of, you know what I'm saying? So for me, that's how I deal with it. Me personally, my way of dealing with it is, man, this isn't real. Because you got to go back to the station and you got to finish your dinner.
Yeah, that's that.
You know what I'm saying? Or on the way back from a call, we get popped for another call. So now you got to, man, I just did chest compressions on this person. Now I got to get over here because this person fell off the roof and broke their leg. So how do I? And then you just tune that out, go to the next one.
Now I see why you don't sleep, man.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't be able to.
Nah, I don't like sleep, man.
Man, it's boy, that's
I can't turn my mind off. And
it's good that you have a positive outlook
for sure
in the youth. You know what I'm saying? That you can not really, I'm not gonna say step away from life, but decompress.
For sure. That's why I love being around
or channel that negativity or negative aura you got from certain calls, and you allow the kid, just like I posted, you know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time, man, like I, the kids help me just as much as I help them. Like because you never know, bro.
And they don't even know it.
Right. Like you doing what you doing, you know what I'm saying, on day-to-day basis, me with my health and cancer situation and all that stuff, man. And just family stuff going on. And people never really can look at us and tell.
Yeah.
I can look at you sometimes and tell.
Yeah.
And I just, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna shoot off a joke or two. You know me, man. I try to keep everything positive as much as I can, because life is too precious and too short
for sure
to be dwelling on something you can't control.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as your belief and your faith, and you know what I'm saying, you living right, and you know what I'm saying, everybody believes in what they believe in. You know,
sure.
I'm not trying to tell nobody what religion or what faith. I know what I believe in and what, you know what I'm saying, what's in my heart and all that. But as long as we all believe in what we believe in and we're living for that purpose, and you know what I'm saying, in those moments day to day, like we can't, I think sometimes we get too caught up on looking too far down the road.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got months on end planned out, but we're not even attacking today fully.
Exactly.
Because you're so worried about what's coming, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 weeks down the road.
Yep.
But I'm like, how do you get to 2-3 weeks down the road if you half doing today and tomorrow?
Exactly.
Or if you barely went through yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Real. So it's just certain things, man, that we do, that we connect well, you know what I'm saying, on together. Individually, man, you might bounce an idea off me. I'm like, man, nah, I ain't feeling that. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or we find a way, okay, I like the idea, but how can we make it even greater?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where do we start?
Right.
That's the first thing. Like, everybody, that's whenever you planning, man, I'm looking at the camera, man. Whenever you planning to do something, or you have a idea in your head, step one is planning, man. Like, you have to sit down and actually plan it out. Write it down, put it in your phone. I don't care what you got to do, man, but you have got to plan it out step by step, because no idea is a bad idea, right? You never know until you try.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know until you try. Who said it? Albert Einstein said, he found just 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
Yep.
That's all it was until he, you know what I'm saying, Thomas Edison, excuse me.
And my grandma used to say, nothing beats a failure but a try.
Right. That's all it is.
My grandma used to say that. So,
that's it, man.
No, you're right.
That's it. And then when it comes to the planning and asking people and all that, man, no just means next opportunity. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that you can't do it. It's just that opportunity did not work.
And it's good to have an accountability partner.
For sure.
It's good to have friends and people that you can call you out on your mess, right? Like, man, like you said, nah, that ain't gonna work. I don't like that idea. On to the next one. Like, all right, well, why you ain't like that one? Oh yeah, I see your point. I ain't think about it like that. So being able to have that, you know what I'm saying, and like you said, we have a plan, but also find somebody you trust to bounce your plan off, your idea off of.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I got a question for you, right? When you think of ideas and being successful and doing the things that you want to do in life, right? That's a win, right? So to you, what is a winning culture to you?
A winning culture, this is gonna sound backwards. A winning culture is being able to accept losing and defeat. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? What I mean is, everybody wants to be a winner, but you're not gonna always win. But sometimes you win in those lessons of losing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you learn different ways
Yeah.
to adapt to when you're in that situation again. Well, I've already been through that, so now I have a step up because I learned from that loss. So now it's the ultimate win in the back end.
I like that.
So I don't like to look at it as a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
It's a win-win to me. Like,
for sure.
did it go down as an L in the book? Yeah. But what's my ultimate goal here? Like, was that the prize, or was that just a stepping stone for me to get to the prize?
Man.
So if I can just use that stepping stone to help me grow even further,
okay,
it's even greater.
So do you take that approach in the coaching?
Have to.
Okay.
Got to. Because if not, I lose sight of why I'm doing this.
Got you.
I'm coaching. I'm not playing.
Right.
I'm coaching, meaning I have a group of young men depending on me and my mindset and my heart and my emotions that day, those moments.
I got you.
So if I don't approach it like that, the selfish me is going to come out. Okay. And then I'm going to expect myself from all of these kids that are out here.
That's tough.
And there's nobody out there that was me.
That's
Is
right.
it some that has part of me? Yes. Is it some that was better in areas than I was? Yes.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, if you call yourself a coach, you're supposed to know more than those young men, those individuals you're working with, right?
For sure.
So I can't expect myself in them because they haven't been through what I've been through. They haven't seen what I've seen. They haven't sat in the meetings I've been in.
Yeah.
They haven't talked to the people I've talked to.
Yeah.
They haven't studied film and other things the way I have.
Yeah.
They haven't put those amount of hours in.
It's so crazy you say that. That's one of the lessons, just as a parent, as a football dad, that I had to, when I finally started accepting that part of it,
it's tough, bro.
Because I was putting my expectations on my son. But and I got 30 plus years of football experience.
I think it's deeper than that.
Okay.
I don't think it's the expectations. I think sometimes we as men and the machismo part of it, we see flashes and we automatically run to the end. Like, I knew you could do it. Why you don't do it all the time?
Yeah.
Because he ate.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? Like, when have you ever seen an 8-year-old, 9, 10, 11, whatever? When you ever seen him be consistent like that in athletics?
For sure.
In a physical sport.
Yeah.
Mind you, we talking about football here.
Yeah.
It's Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know how hot it is in the summer?
Right.
Do you know how hot it is when they put on full pads? Like, for those of y'all that don't know, here in Texas, they play padded football
all year
round.
All year round.
So we talking July.
Yep.
Right after 4th of July, these boys in full pads.
Full gear.
It's 130,000 degrees outside.
Right.
But you expecting that same little Ray you saw,
the
little flash, a glimpse of on one run. You expect it every time.
Every time.
You can't even get out there and do that.
Bruh. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I think like sometimes it's deeper than expectation. It's oh, my son got it. Or we got the ego and we want our son to be the greatest.
It's the ego. We
want our son to be greater than everybody else's kid.
Yeah.
We deal with that now as coaches. People, we deal with that now as trainers.
Yeah.
We deal with that now as just humans, man.
Yeah.
Everybody want to compare each other to each other.
Yeah.
Why?
Man, you know what? That's crazy. I just had somebody was asking me a question about their son, and it was a recruiting question. And that was one of the things that I said, that comparison is the thief of joy. Like, stop comparing, because you'll get, well, my son is better than this kid stats wise, but this kid got the offers and my son doesn't. Like, why are you comparing yourself to somebody else's kid? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to have that conversation, and I have to have those conversations with recruiting and stuff like that, being over at the school, is because, hey, man, your son is not that kid, and that kid isn't your son, because your son is going to get opportunities that kid will never have.
Not facts.
And vice versa.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And so, man, that is a life lesson, that comparison is a thief of joy. Because if you look at social media will have you thinking that everybody has it together.
Everybody.
It'll have you thinking.
I told you, AI is crazy too now.
Man, it'll make you think that everybody got it together, man. And I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm here to tell you, man, like, don't get caught up in everybody else's social media, man. Like, get caught up in your own life, right? And so, not to get too deep into that, but man, just don't.
Nah, that's what we here for, bro. Don't shy away from your platform, man.
Don't get caught up in the comparison, man, because you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be miserable every time.
Keep talking.
Yeah. So. But so that's just me, man. Like, I'm not big on the comparison, but in that regard, it hit me, and I'm like, man, like, when I first started training my son, I don't train him now, but when I first started training him, that was one of the biggest things that I kept expecting. It's like, man, I got 30 plus years of football knowledge, right? how am I expecting when he first started playing at 9 years old? I'm expecting this 9-year-old who just started playing, who only had a year,
who undersized at that,
undersized at the time, ain't got no football knowledge at all, other than him being a Patriots and a Alabama fan.
That's so backwards,
boy. So yeah, so I used to get caught up in that.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. That's how it is. I tell you, it's the glimpse, man. Trust me. We've all been there.
For sure.
We've all been there, man. We've all been there. Now, while we're talking about winning, like in order to win, you have to set a culture or a mindset or a standard,
for sure.
So as they say, right? So to you, how do you set yourself up? Well, how do you set a high enough standard for yourself to be successful, not just in athletics, but in life as general, right? Because you know, let me kind of elaborate on that, right? So when I say set yourself up high enough, meaning you know you're not gonna fail, you're not gonna always succeed, right? So you want to leave room for improvement or whatever, like I said earlier about a stepping stone and all that, but you want to be able to know that if I don't fail, it's okay because I've done X, Y, and Z to prepare myself for any possibility that might come, you know what I'm saying, as outcome.
For sure.
So how do you go about handling that for yourself personally?
So for me personally,
and for everybody else.
So yeah, I got you. So for me personally, I go based off of what my definition of success is for a particular thing. Right. So I don't get caught up in what success looks like for everybody else for me. Right. So like one of my goals when I stopped playing football and I moved down here, yada, yada, was to get into the fire department. Well, I took the test one time, which is like, it's like unheard of. Most people take the test 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And you can only take the test once a year. So we do the test once a year for San Antonio Fire Department. And I got in on the first try. Right. But they usually only do 2 classes a year. That year, they just so happened to do 3. And I got in on the 3rd class. Because when you take the test, if you got prior military and in your DD 214 or whatever it's called,
that's what it is.
You get the 5 points.
That's just your exit paperwork.
Okay, so then you get the 5 points. So them 5 people, all the military who passed, like behind me, they all got 5 points, and it just kept bumping me down the list. So I got into the fire department, but I got in the 3rd class. So to some people is, oh, you weren't, man. I got an 88 on my test, which is high.
You just in a military city.
Right,
where everybody comes.
But I was number 251 on the test, exactly, which is low. Usually back in the day, they didn't even get you. They never even made it that far. So for some people, oh, you barely just got in. That's your definition of, oh, you just barely did it. Me, I'm like, I got in.
You just needed a spot.
I just needed a spot. I needed a spot and an opportunity. That's you know what I'm saying. So to answer your question, for me, I live life based off my definition of success, whatever that is. Right. And then there was a guy who was running for SGA president when I was in college. He had his motto was raising the bar and leaving it there. Right. So for me, it's the little small victories, right? The little small things to get to the big goal. Right. So, for example, in promotion, just like military, in the fire department, you got firefighter, you got engineer, you got lieutenant, you got captain, then you got chief. Right, you can't go from private firefighter to chief. You got a small goal. You got to be an engineer first. Yeah, you got to do that for 3 years, and then you got to be a lieutenant first. Right. So I look at it like it's the small goals that you set for yourself in order to reach the ultimate goal, whatever your ultimate goal is.
Gotcha.
And however that looks for you, whatever path you have to take to get there, whatever the steps you have to take to get there, continue running your own race. Right. And then again, those small victories lead to the big one.
So basically, everything you just said was you just had, relentless purpose in what you were doing.
Oh yeah,
everything was purposeful. Every step was purposeful. And without disregard for, failure, man. Like I said, failure
it happens.
It happens. Like we can't. The thing that bothers me the most is people get so frustrated and so butthurt about failing.
Yeah.
Like it happens. And then people, because they just had their mindset on, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's just going to happen that easy that when they fail, they don't know what to do.
Right.
But I'm like, how? How did you get to this point you are now? Like, just revert back to your training, revert back to what you've learned, retrace your steps to where you went wrong.
Yeah.
Fix it and go.
Yep. And me personally though, like I failed in regard to certain things than more times than I've succeeded.
That's
right.
That's everybody, bro.
Right. But I say that to say, but the things that I've succeeded in were major, which is why I am the way I am today. Who I am as the person that I am today is because I was able to fail in no matter how many times, but I never gave up. Relentless. I never gave up. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to fail, right? But don't get comfortable with failing and don't give up.
That's the key.
You know what I'm saying? Don't give up like, oh, I failed or it's over.
That's the key.
I'm done.
That's the key.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Now you're a failure because you refused to try again, right? And you didn't learn anything. You didn't learn a lesson from that. You're supposed to learn from everything, good and bad. And if you learn from why you failed, you won't make that same mistake again. So for me, that's how I'm able to keep going and keep succeeding and being successful because I go by my definition of success, not anybody else's.
I got you, man. Nah, that's I got you. That's good. So my next question would be, I guess, what's your why?
In what?
Right. And just in servitude and just being of service. Like, what's your why? Like I know like we've both discussed how we got to this point, but we didn't say, you know what I'm saying, why we continue to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like that's two different things.
Yep.
How I got there and why I continue down that path, two different trajectories. You get what I'm saying? So I guess my question would just be like, what's your why?
You want the simple answer?
Man, we got all that. This is our platform, baby. We can talk long we want to.
I'll give you the simple answer, and then I'll kind of elaborate. But for me, the simple answer is the ultimate goal of my life, which is to make it into heaven. And I do want God to be able to say, well done when I'm done.
Okay.
Right. And in order for me to do that, I feel like I have to keep living my purpose. Right. So my why would be to continue to please him. I'm not saying that I'm perfect in life by any means, but my why would be continuing to please him and fulfilling my purpose. Sure. Because I believe, and I know every situation is different. People die in car accidents and whatever the case may be. But deep down in my heart, I believe when your purpose and is done and you like don't serve a purpose no longer, in a sense, like it's when you get called home.
For sure.
And I want to continue to live my purpose and do what God has me here to do because I want to continue to be a servant and serving others. Because the moment that I'm not gonna say he no longer has his use for me, bring me home, but in my mind, that's how I think. Right. And then at the same time, too, man, it's so fulfilling for me to serve others. Like I literally get excited when other people are excited. I literally get excited when other people are successful. Like that's why I love to see people successful. So for me, like just man, my why would be just man, like I just feel like that's my purpose. That's my reason for being on this earth is to be able to help people, give back to people. Right. And I've always had a big heart just growing up, but at some point in my teenage years and beginning of college, I got a little selfish, right? And I was worried about me playing football, running track in college, whatever the case may be. But man, let's just kind of getting out into the world and rediscovering my why for even being here and my purpose even being here. Like that's my why, man. It's people. I don't like everybody, but I love everybody.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you won't always like everybody all the time. So you love them, man.
That's my why, man. My why is, man, I just get so satisfied.
So mine is that, but it's a little deeper than that, okay. Right? So I'm gonna be open transparency, full transparency here. My why stems back to depression, suicidal thoughts, attempt, all that good stuff. So year was this? Probably 2011, 20.
Where were you at the time?
This was right out of college.
Okay.
Military, of course, you know, you had the whole NFL lockout, all that stuff. CFL workouts. Now it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
But we got to this point. Let me go back. We got to this point. In college, I was doing basketball and football, right? Ended up having an ankle injury the last day of spring training into my freshman year. I had a complete dislocation of my ankle and broke my leg, like 90-degree dislocation, right? So I have a plate on the inside of my ankle right now as we speak to this day, right? In that moment, University of Kentucky, Mississippi State, Utah State, Oklahoma State, and Oregon State all were there at practice.
Yikes.
The moment it happened, I remember laying down, I looked up, and all of them were walking back to the cars. I lost 5 offers that day, that moment. The only one that stuck with me was Oklahoma State until they talked to my surgeon. Long story short, so I fast forward. This was, so March of 2007 was a rough month. My grandmother passed March 17, 2007. Her funeral was March 24, 2007. My ankle injury was March 27th, 2007. I had surgery March 28th, 2007. The next day, the doctor comes to talk to me. He says, I got good news and I got bad news. Me being me, man, just tell me what's up, man. I don't need all that good and bad. Just shoot it to me straight. Just tell me what it is. All right, the good news is, the surgery went well. She healed up properly, 12 weeks or so. Bad news, you'll never run again. What? Told me I would never run again.
What, 17, 18 years old?
19.
19? Okay.
19. Told me I would never run again. So I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. Like, I'm on top of the world right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to visit all these schools. Everybody showing love. Whoop, whoop. So then start doing rehab. All right, cool. So I'm working basically. I'm going to school because I want to play ball. I know in order for me to play ball, I got to go to school, right?
Facts.
So doing what I got to do in the classroom, busting my behind in rehab. Didn't even miss that season. Bro, I was running again by fall camp.
Oh, wow.
Didn't miss a game.
Wow.
Did not miss a game.
Okay.
Like, that's how hard I was going in.
Yeah.
Like, it was so real. Like, the doctor told me if I put too much pressure on my ankle, because he had a bolt, like you building a house, a bolt.
Yeah.
From one end of my leg through the other. Like, I could sit there and rub the outside of my leg and feel the head of the screw.
Yeah.
So they took that out after 8 weeks. We were like, if this thing shifts, we're going to go back in and do surgery again. So I had to be careful, like, for the 18 weeks, like walking boot cast, like pillow.
Yeah.
I'm going to class with like my crutches and got a pillow on my back so I can put down so I can sit my leg on.
That's crazy.
So it's just a whole lot of stuff. So I was working like to like play ball because I was like, man, he dude told me I ain't gonna do nothing. Man, you ain't gonna tell me what I can do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Religious, got God and all that stuff. But you at that age, man, you ain't think about it. Like, it's me. I'm gonna do it.
Facts.
So boom, I'm steadily doing what I'm doing, not really, giving the praise of God that he allowed me to bounce back from, this situation. NFL lockout hits, senior year of college. Like, I'm done. Here comes the NFL lockout. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? CFL workouts, boom. Jets workout. Okay, cool. And then here we go. Now life hits.
Yeah.
Hey, what am I gonna do? Go to the military? This ain't what I thought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You did all 4?
That's just they were cutting the years down.
Okay.
They were cutting the contracts down. So things not happening the way I thought it was gonna happen. This time I'm like alcohol heavy. Like, that was my suppressor. Like, you know how we grew up, man. You ain't going to no doctor, you're not going to no therapist or nothing like that, man. Pray about it.
Right.
Pray about it. Take it to the Lord, baby. Pray about it. Go to your prayer closet. Not being funny, but that's just
that's real.
That's just how it was.
Bro,
that's
real.
Just what we was told. Like, nobody going to know. And I remember vividly, man, driving to the woods. To this day, anybody that knows me, when I go to the range and all that, I don't touch a Glock. Here's why. I remember sitting in the car, loaded, Glock 19, put it in my head, pulled the trigger. Jammed. Loaded gun, jammed.
Wow.
Exactly. So since then, man, it's been a whirlwind where I've had good days, bad days, therapy, all that, man. But my thing is, I know how hard it was for me to overcome certain situations at that young age, but it's even worse now for the youth.
Yeah.
That's my why. Like, I want them to know that regardless of the situation, the times, you always have somebody that you can lean on if need be. Like, I'm here. Like, my phone is on. You know what I'm saying? My line is available. If I don't hit you back immediately, I'm gonna get back to you. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like reach out.
Yeah.
And that's why I am the way I am with the kids when it comes to coaching. Like, I'm gonna coach you hard, but I'm also gonna love on you.
I'm gonna love on you a little bit.
So my why is bigger than just yes, like you said, getting into heaven and living out your purpose. But I fully embrace that my purpose is to help people.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like I still, to this day, I still do therapy.
Yep.
I still talk to certain people about, certain things. I talk to, Tyrone all the time. I talk to whoever I got to talk to, man. Anytime
sure.
I'm feeling a little off,
Yeah.
like things a little
Yeah.
not wired a little right, or things don't seem a little right,
for
man.
sure.
I'm not gonna suppress it anymore with like the use of alcohol and cigars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just so my why is gonna always be until I expire, until I leave this earth, is to help people push past any situation.
That's real.
Like it's like, bro, that's one thing. Like my heart pounding right now thinking about it, bro.
Yeah.
That's one sound you'll never forget.
Yeah.
Like hearing the click in the jam.
I'm already
knowing like you were this close to being out of here. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those situations, man. I'm getting antsy right now, just kind of
talking about it. Yeah.
It was over 14 years ago, but now it wasn't even 40. What is this, 25? So it's probably about 13. About 13 years ago or so. But it's one of those situations where it's life, man. And I was too proud because I was feeling myself that I got here by myself when I didn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had people to help me along the way. But I was feeling myself and I couldn't solve the situation myself.
Yeah.
I was too proud to reach out. I had people I could have called.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had coaches I could have called. I had friends I could have called.
Yeah.
I think. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Like,
right.
It's what it
no,
is.
For sure.
You never know. But that's just me, man. So that's just me, man.
Yeah.
I just want to be of service athletically, financially, if I can help you, talk through whatever. And I ain't mean financially like easy money.
Yeah.
But I can,
let me hold something real quick.
If I can help you with some financial literacy or whatever, if I don't have the answer, I can help point you
for sure
towards the answer. Or I can get you linked up with somebody that might be able to help you better than I can.
Yeah.
So that's me, man. That's my why.
Yeah. Nah, that's real, man. And not even, I mean, when you break it down to that aspect of it too, man, same, bro. Just being there for people and helping them, like, let you know, hey, you can push past anything that you're going through. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. That's huge, and it's bigger than football.
Not always.
It's bigger than the game of football. I don't care what anybody say. It's times that I've gotten on to my son, and I'll tell him, I don't even care if you play another down of football. If you ain't right in your head, if you ain't right in these books, if you ain't right, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, none of that even matters if you're not taking care of yourself
at all.
None of that matters if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in life. So, no, that's huge, though. That's big.
No, for real, man.
That's big,
man. But shoot, we've been rocking for a little minute, man. But I think we gave enough for today, man.
So today,
yeah, I think we
my bad, man. I'm a little long winded, man. My bad.
No, you good, man. I think we didn't gave him enough for today, man. But no, just yeah, that was good. That was a good conversation, man. I don't want nobody to get overly emotional in here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, but that's the purpose of this show, man.
No, for sure.
We're gonna give it to you raw and uncut, man. We're gonna be honest, be transparent, right? I'm not gonna come on here and fake the funk. That defeats the purpose.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all tapping in with us today. You know what I'm saying? We missed a week out because I lost my voice because he had me yelling at the refs. I did that on my own, but I lost I lost my voice, man, and so but we took some time off, man, and we back. We'll be out of town. We'll be on the road this weekend.
We supposed to do something, man, but we gonna see. We trying to go live. I know we were trying to do some streaming during games and all that, but for those of y'all that don't know, weather gonna get a little crazy in Texas this week, man. It's supposed to get a little ridiculous in the Woodlands where we are going this weekend. So we shall see, man. So TBD. Just be on the lookout on the socials, man. Just stay tuned to the socials. You'll be able to see whether or not, you know what I'm saying, what we putting out something. Of course, we'll always try to announce first.
For sure.
Just give everybody alert, man. So what you can do is go hit that bell. Go hit that bell so you can be notified on the socials.
Oh, yeah.
Or whenever we post something.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The link will always be tied to whatever we post and all that stuff, man. But as always, follow the channels. You see them on the bottom of your screen right there. Follow the channels.
Yep.
Follow,
Hey,
share.
hey, spread the word.
Yes, follow,
Spread the word.
share, comment, subscribe to YouTube. You here watching the video. There's no other way you can watch the video. So you might well subscribe to the YouTube channel. It won't just be us on the YouTube channel
at all.
It's gonna be a lot happening. It's gonna be a lot happening, man. This tournament, we definitely gonna be more involved. Gonna get Oklahoma kids and coaches on here. If we can kind of work out that dynamic and how we're gonna handle that. But definitely want y'all to get in tune, man. We got a couple parents lined up, man. Couple other big time guests we working on as well, man. So just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, man. We appreciate all the love we received thus far. We appreciate everybody that has subscribed. We appreciate everybody that supported. Oh, of course, don't let me forget merch. Merch. We are selling the merch, but right now we kind of just trying to gauge how we want to lay it out. So if you're interested in some of the Relentless Purpose merch that I wore episode 1, just example, the hoodie, reach out to us, DM. You know what I'm saying? The fastest way to get a response is gonna be DM us. Now, if you leave a comment on the video, it might be a day or so before I get to that.
Right.
Because sometimes, that just kind of gets crossed up a little bit.
Yeah.
But fastest way is gonna be DM, man. So reach out.
Man.
Got anything else for him?
Nah, man. I'm glad we back.
For sure.
I'm glad we back, man. Looking forward to the next one. Looking forward to this weekend and then getting a few other names and faces on here for y'all to see. And we're gonna keep it rolling.
No, for sure, man.
We're gonna keep it rolling. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what's to come.
For sure, man. But as always, man, be relentless in all that you do. Continue to walk in your purpose. Relentless Purpose Podcast. And we out.